Ladies and gentlemen, Hex community of all ages, hey, Jake Freedom here, coming to you live from YouTube for this week's Hex update, midweek update, not a Saturday. As we all know, the patch, or maybe not know, but from my video, if you watch it, you know that the patch was postponed from last Friday, and they weren't quite sure when they were going to do it, and I didn't want to wait till next Saturday to do the video because I think I figured it would be way too long, depending on when they actually did the patch. And since today is Tuesday, and from Tuesday to Saturday is just way too long to wait, I figured I'd do it tonight. So it's kind of a midweek, early week update. Just happens to be when they patched it. So not sure what we're going to do on Saturday, but we'll figure something out. So to kick things off here, there was quite a few changes to some cards. Mainly balance changes and things like that. And some general stuff too as well. One of the major things that I saw, is probably not the best thing that I saw, is when the game actually loads, they put a new loading animation screen on the actual game, and it's actually kind of cool. So let's go ahead and fire the game up here, and I will show you that. And it's actually pretty neat. I don't know, some people may not think it's neat, but I think it's neat. It's just aesthetics. So yeah, you know, a little bit of smoke going on there. It says Hex Entertainment now. You know, before it just had the cryptozoic skull and things like that. So yeah. So alright, let's go ahead and get signed in here and see what we have in store for us. Alright, so like I said, you know, a few regular changes, which they call general, some tournament changes and things like that. Nothing too terribly exciting. So first of all, under the general, there was just, you know, some basic stuff. Battle animation stuff has been spiced up. The victory defeat screen has been spiced up. The new logo while the game is loading, that's what I wanted to point out there. Another one I wanted to point out is people would often get, I shouldn't say often because I haven't got a whole lot, but you'd get a failed to start game thing, and I think it was Chris Woods, I forget his name. What is his name again? Let's go down here. Dan Clark or Chris Woods, one or the other, at one point in time explained why that would happen. And I had it in a video, and I can understand it, you know, talking about, you know, server communication, how things worked out, how games were created here, and, you know, games were created there, and this, that, and the other thing. So that has been fixed, so that's good. People will probably really, really enjoy that. Other than that, players now have 1 minute between each round in a tournament, you know, little things like that, you know. Now, and as always, you know, I'll put the link to the patch notes in the description here, so you can go ahead and read those yourself. 'Cause I'm not going to go through everything because I just think they're just way too long. There's way too many of them, you know, and I don't want this video to be an hour. So half hours is long enough, I think. All right. So if I sound a tad bit nasally, it's because earlier today, a few hours ago, I was out mowing my grass, or not really my grass, I was mowing in my tree grove. Yes, I live on an acreage, and I'm trying to clean things up over the winter, so that would be the why dust makes me sneeze, as probably many people makes them sneeze. Alright, back to the update. Some gameplay changes here. I've highlighted a few of them here we're going to go over. We're not gonna, like I said, we're not going to go over all of them, because there's just far too many of them. The first one that I wanted to point out is most of these are buffs and debuffs, or buffs and nerfs, as some people like to call them. Is Phoenix Guard Scout, and okay, I'm gonna point this out here. They changed the card manager again. I think they changed it for the better. The search box is now out in the open. It's not buried within the filters here, which is good because I found that very irritating. They have these two little boxes here. I'm not really sure what the heck those are for. They moved up how many cards we have to the top now. They used to be down at the bottom. So yeah, cards still load as you get to them, super slow. They need to, I don't know if that's due to my internet. I doubt it, but you know, it still needs some tweaking there. So, but it's getting there. It's getting far, far better than it was. All right. First one, Phoenix Guard Scout. Let's pull him up. Phoenix Guard Scout. He was... Let's see, what was he? Man, why can't I remember? Okay, it says Phoenix Guard Scout now has 1 attack down from 2. Okay, so he was a 2/3, and now has 3 defense up from 2. Okay, so he was a 2/2 for 2 flyer, and what they did with him is they made him a 1/3 for 2 flyer. Was it necessary? I think, I don't know. What's the other one? I thought a 2/2 for 2 was all right. Why they wanted to do a 1/3 for 2, I'm not really sure why they thought that would be okay. I did like the what was his? The Phoenix Guard Trainer. This guy here, the Phoenix Guard Trainer. This is a 3/2 for 2 that's inspired. If they wanted to make anything, they could have changed this guy here to be a 1/3 for 3 with inspire. That'd been nice, because then he would have been out of burn range right away. But changing the scout, I don't know why they would have done that, but that's not how you spell scout. Not sure why they did that. They don't really give any reasoning here. They did change his cost too. He was a 3 cost, so he was a 3/2 for 2. Okay, so that makes a little more sense. So a 2/1 for a 1/3 for 2. I guess I don't know. It's still the same card if you ask me. Because you're just shuffling numbers around. You're not really changing the card all that much. But I guess that's what cards are all about, shuffling the numbers and things like that. So I don't know. I think he's still good. He's still he's out of a burn. He's out of a first round rage fire. He's out of range from Bombsmith. He's out of range of Saper's Charge, so he got out of range of some of those lower cost cards, so he might make an impact. He might, in early game, he might become a, they sacrifice 2 cards to get rid of your 1. So, we'll see how that works out there. Yeah, whatever. The next one here we're going to talk about here is Elite Battletech. They changed him. His defense is now 4 up from 2. So basically he was a 6 cost, 2 threshold, 1/2. When this troop enters play, create 2 worker bots and put them into play. You can sacrifice 2 robots you control, put target opposing troop into its controller's hand. So basically what they did here is they made this guy so he'll survive a little longer and not die so quickly for being such a high cost card, which is good. Not a big dwarf deck player, but I think this is a good change here because I don't think it was seeing a lot of play, and I think a lot of these card changes were based off of how much play the actual cards were actually seeing. I did read a post somewhere on the forums that they were talking about changing cards because they just haven't seen a lot of play, not necessarily balance wise, but just because they think that the cards are poor in value, so they want to kind of change them to see how things will shift around and see how they'll actually come out. I don't know if this one will see any more play. It might, but they didn't change its cost at all. So it's still a 6 cost, 2 threshold, 1/4. So if for 6 costs you can do 1 damage, but granted he created 2 worker bots, and worker bots, are all right. We all know what worker bots are. Let's just pull them up here real quick. Worker bot is a defensive guy. Sorry, I have to. My nose is running here again. Alright. Worker bot is a defensive artifact. He's a 1/1. So he's not a 0/1, so at least he can deal damage back when he's defending. So it's all not all that horrible. Hey, there's something new. Finally, we can switch back and forth between the cards without having to go back like this. That's good. Alright. So I don't know if we'll see any more play of him. Like I said, I don't play a lot of dwarf robot decks and things like that, so I don't know how popular he actually is. But we'll see, that's why they change him here, is to get more playability out of him, I guess. Another one they changed here, let's go with this one, Crazed Squirrel Titan. I liked playing Crazed Squirrel Titan in those quick ramp wild decks, and what they did is they changed him from 5/5 to a 4/4. That kind of sucks, honestly, because with a 5/5 you could do some damage to some of those high cost 4/4 cards, and now he's a 4/4 himself. I don't think that was a good change, but I just think he was probably too powerful, coming out to be able to battle a card, with he comes out as a 5/5. So I think he was just way too powerful. So I think they just wanted to nerf him so he wouldn't be able to just dominate the board when he came out, because you bring him out, he's a 5/5, you get rid of a 4/4 somebody's card, and then you can go ahead and block. You still have a 5/5 card you can still block with. So I think this is probably needed change, especially since it's so quick. You can get this guy out so quickly. So I think it was good, and a lot of the wild changes were probably based on how quickly cards were able to be brought out in the wild deck there. So good change. I don't like it, but hey, I think it needs to be done. Next one, Eternal Guardian. Haven't dealt with him too much. Eternal. There we go. Eternal Guardian. He used to be a 5/5, and now he's a 4/4. His card text didn't change. He still prevents all damage that would be dealt to you and other troops and things like that. So typically you don't block or do anything with this guy. But now that there's cards out there that make you have to block, I think that was why this change was made. Like Pheromones from Wild. I think now you could point to this guy and say, you have to block me now. So I think maybe that's why they brought him down a little bit, just so he would be easier to deal with. I'm okay with that change. He's not a unique, so you can have more than one, so it's okay. I don't think he's unique anyway. He doesn't have the unique symbol. It doesn't say unique, so you can have more than one out there. So an 8 cost though for 2/2, it's still, he's still expensive. He's not one of those cards just, that you can just quickly get out. I mean, you probably could, but would you want to? Yeah. I still like. I think he still doesn't need to be a 5/5. They need to lower his cost, and if they're going to do a 4/4, I mean, an 8 cost for a 4/4, that's ridiculous. So, granted, he does a lot of good stuff, but now if there's other cards out there, yeah, I don't know. Oh my gosh, his nose is ridiculous today. All right. So yeah, Mimic got a very interesting change. His costs went from 4 down to 2. Still a 2 threshold, but now I think we're gonna see this card used more than we have in the past, given that its cost is 2. He's still a 2 threshold, but that's okay. Now you can much easier mimic or replicate something that you have on the field. So I think that's great. Or replicate something from your opponent. I think we'll see this card used much more, and I don't think it was getting enough usage and for what it can do, so I think that's why it was brought down in its cost-wise. So I think that's a good change there. I like that one, even though I don't play Mimic much, but I do like that change. Alright, next one here, Inferno. Inferno, when this card came out, I wasn't too terribly fond of it because it was a 4 cost, and it was a 4 cost constant that came into play with an Inferno counter. And then at the start of each champion's turn, you'd choose one at random, add an Inferno counter to this constant, or deal 1 damage to that champion for each Inferno counter on this constant. I thought, God, that's too much RNG for me for 4 cost. 2 thresholds, I don't care about that, but 4 cost, and I may or may not get to, it may just add, 6 Inferno counters, 6 turns in a row, and I may not get anything from him, or, it may deal 1 damage for 6 turns in a row, which, if I'm going to do that, I might as well play Turreted Wall for 4, so I think this change was definitely needed for what it does. Now, if you can keep him alive long enough, there are a few cards out there that can get rid of counts. If you can keep him on the board long enough and get him pumped up to 4 or 5, maybe he starts dealing, maybe he'll deal damage at 4, 4 or 5 or 6. Then that'd be great. That's a good 2 cost card. But I don't think it was it was being played enough to get maybe accurate results, if you will, or being kept alive long enough. I don't know. So, but I do think, you know, coming down from 4 to 2 is definitely a good change for Inferno, and I can definitely see it being used more now that it is only 2 cost. Let's see. Next one here is a blood card, and his name is I don't know, Zentoth. If that's what you want to call him, Zentoth, the Inquisitor. Now Zentoth, his cost actually went up from 3 to 4, and I think this is a good change. The reason I say that is because it never really dies. It doesn't go away. And then at the end of your turn, you have to add +2 to it. So you get it out there the first time on turn 3. If you can deal 3 damage, great, and everything like that. He's very easy to deal with, but he never goes away. He always comes back. So now adding 2, you know, he's always added 2 costs, so now he's going to come back as a 6 instead of a 5. So I don't know. I don't play blood cards that much. I shouldn't say that. I didn't play this card that much because he wasn't. I don't think he's that great of a value. You know, even at 3, a 3/1 for 3 that always stays in. You know, when he dies, he just goes right back into your hand and gets +2 cost. I don't know. I don't think he's that good of a card to begin with, but he has a socket, maybe. So if you I don't know if he's a major or a minor. They took that away, which it's tough to tell. You know, he's socketable, but some cards tell you major or minor, and some don't. This one would be a tough one to tell because he's I don't know what cost he is, and I can't. Well, here's what we can do. Here's what we can find out like this. Bam. Let's go like this. Let's see if we can put a prime gem in there. You can. So he is a major. Okay. Okay. So maybe his cost going up from 3 to 4 is okay because you can put. He's a major socketable guy. So you can put the prime blood orb of brutality is when this troop enters play, target opposing troop gets permanent +1 or equal to attack equal to this troop. So that's 3 attacks. So if you had something else out there with 3, you know, now that card's a 6. So yeah, or we're gonna put this prime blood orb of cruelty. When this troop deals damage to an opposing champion, you may put target troop from your graveyard into your hand. So I think that, okay, now knowing that, I think that troop that was yeah, I think that's a good change for that card. I think that's a good change. Next one, people aren't too terribly happy about is Chlorophilia was changed. Big time. Chlorophilia now reads, play a wild shard from your deck. Play a random wild shard from your deck. Before, oh man, what did he do? Why can't I remember? His cost is now 2. I think it was 3 before. But he gave you like +3 to your threshold or some crazy thing like that. I wish I could remember. But yeah, so he was changed drastically. So now he's only a 2 cost and he plays a shard. Yay. You know, that's basically Shards of Fate. You'd be better off running, what is it, the adaptable infusion bot? Where's he at? We'll find him here. Adaptable infusion bot. Where are you at? He's a little crane looking guy, right? Let's just do this. Bot. Here we go. Why can I not find him? You know, infiltrator bot? No, it's not him. It's not the assault bot. Well, where did he go? Here we go. Adaptable infusion device. Okay. So for 1 cost, when this artifact enters play, choose a standard resource from among those currently in your deck. Gain that threshold that resource provides. You might as well play this. No reason to run Chlorophylla anymore. You know? So, and you gain that threshold's resource, and I don't know about Chlorophylla. It doesn't say anything about... It says play a wild shard from your deck. Okay, does that give you a charge? I don't know if it does or not. But so I'd definitely play the infusion device for sure. That's just me. But so next one, Eye of Creation. Eye of Creation has been the talk of the forums for sure. 17 plus pages about Eye of Creation being too powerful. Eye of Creation was a powerful card and what it did. You know, it basically it brought, you know, for whatever you casted it at, +3, you would bring that many cards up out of your hand. Whether, let's say you casted it for 10, you bring up 7 cards, and if it was a resource or a troop, those babies would come into play. The troops would come into play, and all the triggers would go off of those cards if they had, you know, come into play triggers, and the resources would go into your hand, and you'd gain charges and thresholds for that. Super powerful card. Now what they did is they just took away the resource aspect of it. So basically you reveal the X cards of your deck, put each troop revealed this way into play, shuffle the remaining cards back in your deck. So now the resources don't come into play, so you don't get that threshold. So it's like Chlorophylla, they took away the ramp capability out of Wild, is basically what they did. I guess CZE felt that Wild decks were too easily ramped up to be able to get to those big powerful creatures, you know, especially you pair this guy with Puck, what's his name? Puck something. Let's look him up. Puck, Dreambringer. Okay, this guy here gain one resource for each troop in your hand with cost 5 or greater. All you do is you just stack your hand with these guys, 5s and 6s and whatnot, and you know, you get him, and you have, along with Eye of Creation and with Chlorophylla and with Halloween Brave, I mean, you had a super powerful deck, and it was quick. It was a quick deck too. You know, you just beat on the guy, and I think it was just too overpowering, and that's why all these changes were being made to the wild shards themselves. So whatever, you know, I think it's good. And again, here's another change to another wild card, Jadim. Jadim the Dragon is a unique, and what they did here, okay, if you're not familiar with a Jadim, 5 cost 3 threshold, that stayed the same. She's still a 5/5. She has flight. What Jadim would do before is you'd put Jadim in play, and then every card after that, whatever its casting cost was, you know, it would get plus attack plus defense equal to that casting cost. Okay, so you play Jadim for 5. Okay, next turn you play Fist of Brigadon. That's a 6 cost card, I think, 5 or 6. Now you add 5 to each one of those. Now Jadim's 10/10. Okay, next turn, yeah, Fist of Brigadon is a 6 cost, so now it'd be 11/11. Next turn, you play Evolve. That's a 3 cost. Now she's a 13/13. Play a few Sensei Samurais, you know, or Moonshire Samurais for some card draw. You know, play 3 of those. You know, okay, that's 6 more, so now she's a 19/19. Stayed that way throughout the game. Now all they did is they added 2 little words. This turn. So now she doesn't stay buffed permanently throughout the entire game. She only does it for that turn, so you can't get her to these immenseful great power where she's just unstoppable. Okay, if you have Crush, you know, put Crush on her, game over. So I think that was a good change. You know, I really liked playing Jadim, and you could get her really big, but yeah, it was probably definitely needed there. So other than that, there's just a few known issues throughout the game. You know, Reginald, his, you know, kill you card mechanic isn't working, you know, when you get him. Chess in packs opening isn't currently working. A few things like that, but those aren't any big deal. Other than that, yeah, Magnet Games coming along really well. It looks like we all got 10,000 more platinum to mess around in the store. Well, while we're here, you know, why don't we just open up some packs, take a look and see what we get. Sorry. Edit that out. Okay. So I let's open up some packs here. So I still have to be able to get a primal pack. So let's go. Let's go and buy 10 packs here. Maybe it'll give us a. All right, we finally got a confirmation saying, "Hey, you bought some packs. Sweet. Let's open these 10 packs real quick and see if we can get a primal pack." I've yet to see a primal pack or even a legendary within here, and yet we still don't. We still get a rare. All right, what is our rare? What is our rare? It is going to be Mastery of Time. Oh, it is a legendary. Okay, sweet. Okay, so I figured that the glow around would be red if it was a legendary. It's not. So okay, whatever. Nice. Okay, not that I have to buy these, but still kind of cool. All right. Whoa. What's that guy? What's the chest? What is that? Am I supposed to do something with him? I don't know. I just said it too. Chest and pack opening currently don't do anything. Duh. Alright. What's our card here? We get a Wrathwood Colossal. He's a pretty sweet card. I like him. When this troop enters play, gain 9 health. When this troop dies, put it in your hand for 9. 9 for 9. Sweet card. Hopefully I get that one when we start buying cards. I like him a lot. That chest doesn't do anything, remember, so don't think it does. Alright, next pack here. And flip the first 14. Yeah, we're not too worried about those. We all know we're worried about what's the 15th card, and Lord Benjamin the Wise. Not a card I've played a whole lot with, but that's okay. Alright. Next. They still haven't changed the water yet. I bet you they will. I bet you they changed that water. I don't think it looks like water. And Oath of Valor. That's a card they just changed. When this concept enters play, name a troop you control. Troop you control with that name gets +2/+2. Good white card. Alright. Couple more packs here. And we get... Ooh, Hellhound, I like him. Eldritch Dreamer. This card can't be blocked. Socket him with Flight. He's a powerful card. Or even socket him with like Speed or Spell Shield. Socket him with Spell Shield, since he can't be blocked anyway. Socket him with Spell Shield. You got yourself a hell of a card there in hand. So hopefully we get that one too when we start opening packs. Alright. This wouldn't be too disappointing of a pack opening experience if I actually had to buy them. Alright, we got Mesmerize, that's good. Crazy, what was that one? I can't zoom in on these. Okay, we got Sword Trainer and Craze Ramagina, I think that guy is right there. And Storm Call, I like him. I do like the Sensei, I like that card draw. It's a cheap card draw. Repel, sweet. And we have here Claw of the Mountain God. Start of your turn, 3 costs, and 5/4 for 3, but you deal 2 damage yourself. I can live with that for that Kai right there. Alright. What do we have here? Stormclaw, you betcha. Soothing Breeze, yeah. Mortar Strike. I can't. What's his name again? Fiendish Kabbalist. This troop gets +1/+1 for each card in the opposing champion's hand. It's kind of nice. Air Superiority, I like that one. What's our rare? Gastrol. That's to go with Ruby Wild. When you play a Ruby card, this troop gets permanent +1/+1. So you know how that card has to be built, or that deck has to be built around Rubies and Wilds. Alright, what do we got going here? Next on deck is another Stormclaw. Spearcliff Pegasus, Soothing Breeze, Nature Reigns, Wild Aura, Ruby Lance, I like Ruby Lance. Chlorphilia, I believe is pretty much junk now. And we've got the Daring Swordsman, which deals double damage. He's a good card. If you miss that he deals double damage, you can really screw yourself. And our rare is the Mushwaki. As the Mushwaki enters play, if it is hungry, you may sacrifice any number of shin hair. The Mushwaki gets permanent +3/+3 for each shin hair sacrificed this way. Super powerful card, and by the way, the Mushwaki is always hungry, so if you have battle hoppers out there with your champion, boom. Definitely a good card. I think that card is awesome. Go away. Alright. 2 more packs here, and we'll end this video. Oracle Song, good. Murder, alright. Crimson Clarity, B, runs to the litter. You know, that's a decent card if you're going to be playing with the Mushwaki. Suppress Fire, alright. Elite Battletech, alright. Corrupt Harvester. This troop can't be blocked by except artifacts or blood troops. Good card. And our rare, Tectonic Break. I think this is a piece of crap. For each troop, randomly determine if it destroys its foes. Each troop has a 10% chance of not being destroyed for each point of defense it has. Crap card for 7. That would burn that card. I don't like that card at all. Too much RNG for me. Alright, Buccaneer, like him. Call the Grave, alright. Terrible Transfer, yeah, it's okay. Righteous Paladin, good card. Wizard of Silver Talon, nice card. And our rare, or legendary, is Total Meltdown. Destroy all opposing artifacts. Not a bad card. It's a good way there to deal with Eternal Guardian and cards like that. So yeah. That's it. That's it for card packs. Yeah, I like opening card packs. I do like that animation. I think they're gonna spice it up a little bit, but so other than that, that is this midweek's update. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. I know I did. It's kind of a bummer we don't get to talk about new cards. I don't think we'll be able to talk about new cards for a while yet because they're still putting the final touches on set 2. And I don't know if they're going to roll set 2 all out at once, if set 2 is going to come out in closed beta all at once, or if they're going to roll it out in stages again. I hope they roll it out in stages because it seems like when new cards come out, they have some issues and they affect things that they wouldn't think it would affect. So we'll see. So, if you liked the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of these HEX updates or any other videos I do on this channel, go ahead and click subscribe below, and we'll have another video for you soon.